and welcome to Smute Talks, where we present the journey of influencers and bloggers. Let your smile change the world. Don't let the world change your smile. Our today's guest believes in the magic of words and is of the view that kind words can heal the world. She is an anchor, voice artist, and a radio jockey by profession. She also likes to exploring into her strengths, and writing is one of them. And presently, she is basking in the glory of motherhood. Smute Talks is glad to present Namita Sinha.
Thank you so much, Smute, for inviting me here as a guest today, and it's completely my pleasure being here and sharing my blogging journey with your audience. Thank you.
Namita, please describe your journey as an influencer.
Actually, from very early on, since my childhood days, I had this inclination and interest in reading books. This whole world of books, stories, poetry, drama, theatre kind of fascinated me. And eventually I started penning down my thoughts, which was quite therapeutic for me. And I also started working as a freelance content writer and started writing for various digital platforms, portals, and my work also got published. So this all boosted confidence in me that yes, I have got that in me. The flair of writing is there. I just need to polish myself and go with the flow. This whole blogging thing happened say just 3 to 4 years back, when I was pursuing this digital marketing course. Then I was introduced to this enduring and charming world of blogging. So since then I also started my blog named Just Womania. I was posting quite frequently, but then at that point of time I was working full time, including weekends. I was working as an RJ in All India Radio FM Rainbow. Then I was working as a voice artist. Then I was also doing shows. I was anchoring events and all. And during weekends, I was doing theatres. So ultimately, I was left with no time to be consistent with my blogging journey. So that ways I had to put a halt there. But it was very recently, after I gave birth to my little daughter, that my life became a little slow paced. And at that point of time, when I was exploring more into this digital world, into this digital space, I came across this Instagram blogging thing. I was there on Instagram, posting pictures and trying out different filters, but never thought of this Insta blogging thing altogether. But then all of a sudden, one day, I was just exploring it, and I came across few profiles which kind of introduced themselves as mom bloggers, and that was a kind of new thing for me. So I got into it and I was really very much impressed. Their profile was impressive, and moreover the journey, the way they were documenting their journey, or the posts, their pictures, it all kind of inspired me at that point of time. So I thought, why not? And it comes so close to what all I have been doing, like my creative persona, my creative field. I have been all the while doing that. So why not? And moreover, I'm very fond of taking pictures of my baby's picture and capturing moments, capturing memories, making memories, creating memories. So why not? This is, oh my god, this is all my kind of thing. So why not document that, and moreover in the journey get inspired, and in somehow help the new moms like me to understand what motherhood is all about, and how real motherhood actually feels like. Because I believe we all mother are united by the same emotion, same feeling. The journey may be different, but we feel the same. So motherhood is a kind of religion for me, and I completely believe in that. So that was, my blogging journey started, and it's quite fun, and I'm really enjoying the process.
That's a great start, Namita. Well done. So according to you, what is the best part of being an influencer?
Well, the best thing about being a blogger or a social media influencer, as you say, I believe, again, as I told you, finding your community. Yes, there is nothing in this world which is like more empowering than finding your own tribe, and you have each other's back, and you get inspired, you get inspired in the process, and moreover you are able to influence people's life, because there are so many young new moms, and trust me, the theory, we do all the reading and everything, but the theory and the real life experience is completely different at times. So we as young moms, we celebrate motherhood, we share our real life experience, both happiness and sorrow together, and you understand that there is whole lot of arena still left. You feel like once you are mother, you are just like game is over now. You got to be restricted to certain boundaries. You cannot do much enough, but that's not the fact. I mean, so this way, I mean, you can definitely go ahead, explore things, prioritize things, and come out with flying colors. You can do that. So this way, with our posts, with our writings, with our tips, techniques, sharing of oneism, we are able to inspire each other in the process and have really good time exploring into our strengths. So that is what I feel the best thing about blogging or documenting your journey is like. And the second thing for me personally, if you see my area of work, which is like RJing, like being a radio host, to anchoring shows and events, to writing, to telling stories, to drama, to theater, I have always been attached to my work, always has been attached to creativity, creative backgrounds. So this digital platform gave me an opportunity to create content and step out of my comfort zone and create something which is unique each time, or maybe just joining the league, but actually speaking out your heart out there, speaking out your heart, and exploring into your strengths. Sometimes oh, should I try this video, should I not, whether people will like it or not. So all this it's completely related to your inner strength, like you become courageous enough to go out there, shed your inhibitions, and try and learn. So and in the whole thing, you definitely become a better version of yourself. You are able to create better, you are able to think better, and you are able to inspire better.
Well, of course, being an influencer in itself is a great work. What was the most challenging part in your journey so far?
Well, challenges were there, and during my initial period of motherhood, it was really tough during that point of time, because with my 4.5-month baby, I came back again to Singapore. So it was just me, my husband, and my baby, and everything has to be done by ourselves only, without any support. Obviously our family support was there virtually, there were advices and there was their guidance, but everything seemed so never ending, and there were household chores list was there, and it never seemed to end. And then we both were sleep deprived, and sleep and stress, it works, I guess, mutually, because if you're stressed out, you will not be able to sleep, and if you will not be able to sleep, you'll be more stressed out. So these all happened with us. At times it became really, really overwhelming for both of us, but then since we were also learning, as in our trial and error method, and there were times when we were filled with self-doubt, that whether we are doing it right or not, is this the correct way to be done. Then you don't have time for yourself, because all your time is taken away by your baby itself, and at that time baby is the only priority you have. So you have to define your priorities really, really well. So it was all together a very I would say testing time during those days, but finally, yes, we learned, and we started forming a proper routine. My husband and I, we became a team. We worked as a team. We were doing shifts in the night shifts, so that we both get enough sleep, so that for the next day we are rejuvenated enough to look after and take care of our baby, because baby demands a lot of attention. We started planning things, jotting it down, writing it down, and we started getting enough time for ourselves, me time. I started reading book, I started meditating, and it gave me that sense of satisfaction so much. It was a lot of hard work and lot of self-teaching, self-taught parenting we did, and successfully we came out of it. So very challenging, tough, but being resilient and being getting up to all that challenges, and that never say die attitude always helps. And after a certain period of time, you look back and you feel, oh, this was nothing, now I can handle much bigger than that. So when things started falling in place, we started getting into a routine, and at that point of time I thought to take a dip into entrepreneurship.
Well, being a mom and managing everything is really challenging. Being a mom influencer, do you think your contents influence the audience, and how?
As an Insta mom blogger, I share my slice of life. Like if I am doing any activity with my kid, like any DIY activity, or if I'm striking any conversation with my kid and it turns out real funny, so I share all those on my stories, and in my feed also you'll be able to see that. And moreover, as I talk about early childhood development, so things which we are doing, things which we are practicing, I share about that. So it's all from the heart, what we have been doing, what we want to do, or what mistakes we made, or what we regret. So all these stuffs we share there. So it's all about real motherhood, it's all about real self, what we have been actually doing. So with whatever I put out there, I get comments on that, or on my stories. There are moms, like if my baby is doing any activity, or if my baby is playing with any toy, so there are moms who would DM me like, wow, that was really nice, I'll also try that with my kid, or from where did you bought that toy, can you please share the link with me. So these things happen, so that sends me a signal that there is something which is connecting both of us, because we are moms, and as I say, motherhood is a religion. We have the same emotions, we have the same fear, same anxiety, so we are connecting on different levels. There are moms who will they'll share DMs like, oh my gosh, she's so sweet, she's so adorable, what's her age, she would like to know more about your child. So that way I feel that I'm able to influence other people, also inspire and get inspired. And then comes collaboration also. So when you recommend some product, or when you share links, when you are able to see that so many people have visited that link, or if you share an app link or anything, and you find out that so many people have downloaded that app, so straight away it's a signal to you that people are liking your content, people trust you, people believe you, and that whatever you are recommending is going to be something really good.
Well, that's absolutely right. Proper knowledge and proper guidance is really important in one's life. What is the best collaboration that you have done so far with a brand?
As far as collaboration is concerned, I'm very selective with what brands I'm collaborating with, or what are the products which I am recommending, because after a certain point of time, when you see that people have really developed a bonding with you, a trust in you, they will follow you, and they will take it seriously whatever you convey to them. So it's our responsibility as a mom blogger or influencer, as you say, that we recommend the best. and we should not recommend anything which you yourself are not going to use. So I just take it as my utmost responsibility to collaborate and find out great things which I really believe in, and convey the message to my people out there, to my audience out there. So this is how this is how it works for me, because I can give you example. Very recently, like my daughter is 2 years, and we have started giving her cow's milk like much before. So that company, that brand is from Singapore, so they contacted me. They were paying good also, and they wanted me to promote one of their formula, which was for 2 to 3 years old, and it was kind of good for gut and things like that. Even though the money was real good, I denied collaborating with them, and the reason was really very obvious, that my daughter is on cow's milk now, and I would in no way I'm able to switch back to formulas, and I'm not going to give it to her. So it's just click a picture and post it. It's not a simple thing. I mean, I'm recommending that product which my daughter is not using, so that's a kind of cheating, I guess. So that is why I denied collaborating with that brand. So I always, in my text messages, I make it really clear to my brands that, listen, I'll take 15 to 20 days to post your thing. If I find it real good, I'll be posting within 20 days, and if I don't, I'll text back to you. So please, this is my condition. If you are happy enough, you can go ahead and we can move forward with the collaboration. Otherwise, you take your call. So there are brands with which I have collaborated, and the products I feel really nice, and there are many utility products which I have recommended it to my audience, which my daughter use, and there are many skincare products also, or there are jewelries and other stuffs like that. So total how many collaboration I have worked with right at this point, I don't remember exactly, but it has to be somewhere around 50-60 collaborations I have done so far, India and Singapore mixed.
Yes, honesty plays an important role in every platform, and as you said, people believe in what you recommend them. What would you say is the biggest challenge about being a mom blogger, or is it an easy job?
Challenges for a mom blogger, let me tell you, be it a mom blogger or any kind of blogger, the challenges is always to stand out, because as a digital content creator, you always have to look out for something new and unique, because there are so many people doing the same thing. There are so many food bloggers, there are so many travel bloggers, there are so many mom bloggers. Now, how do your content stand out? And it should be unique and should relate with your audience. That is one of the most toughest challenge, I would say. The same topics, but with a different perspective. That is I guess is the key, or does the trick for your content to stand out. So it's like, yeah, one of the challenges which I feel at times. And second thing is, like, being a mom, you have your responsibilities, your duties. I'm a mom of a 2-year-old, and the toddler, like, she is very active. She wants my attention. She is on a drama mode every time, and she wants me to be there. And I also want to be present in the moment, if I am doing activities with her, or if we are cuddling, hugging each other, embracing each other. So that moment is like so profound, and I want to be present there all the time. But since I have dedicated or maybe you can say that I have started doing blogging also, and I have certain number of followers, so I am liable to or responsible I have a responsibility towards them as well. So that ways you have to really manage your time, your home, your household duties, your mom responsibilities, and then comes your blogging responsibilities also, for sure. I mean, all equal at that point of time. But then again, you have to manage it well. Planning is really important. Time management is really important. You have to prioritize your thing, and then from that, 8 to 10 or 12 hours, you have to take out a chunk of time that yes, this time is dedicated wholly and solely for your content creating. So that is very important and challenging and crucial as well. And one more thing is also very challenging, I find it challenging, is like since Instagram is a visual medium, so you should have a bank of photos, nice visually attractive photos ready to go with your content, right? So because content is the king, but photos are equally important, and the relevant photos. So to have a bank of good visually attractive photos, it's also a tough task for a mom. Moreover, since I have a toddler and she would just not stand still for a photo, I'm sure many of the mom bloggers would relate with me. It's a task, I would tell you, it's a real huge task to let the toddler make understand and ask her to pose. But again, blogging or pictures are all about creating memories, and sometimes even though the toddler is not posing, you can keep on clicking, and the photo comes out so candid, so good. So yeah, that's how you have to kind of try and take it one at a time and see how it goes.
Yes, your content should be different and unique from that of others. And I also agree with your point that both the pictures and the content play an important part in the digital platform. Who is your inspiration in this journey?
Yeah, I mean, when I started exploring Insta blogging, there was some very beautiful and excellent profile I came across. There was this Momcom India. She's a Mansi. She's a YouTuber too. Then there was this Anupriya Kapoor. She's like really inspiring, and her journey has been very motivating. She's a TEDx speaker too. So yes, she's really good. And then I started following a few mom bloggers wear like diapers and lipsticks. UV says she has a very striking humor. And then from Singapore, I started following Sassy Mama as she. Then there was Yanism, the mom's word. And for the humor and for that panache, that striking hilarious videos, I started following Dolly Singh. I mean, she's commendable, she's wow. And very recently, Nazma Apile, Saloni Gaur, I started following her also. She's also too good. Her videos are apart from the crowd. Very excellent videos she make. So yeah, these are few people I really get inspired to make good content and create good content.
It's great to know about your favorite bloggers. Namita, what advice would you give to our mommy readers?
Well, I would definitely like to share my learnings from this a year of consistent blogging. Content has to be the supreme thing which really make a difference. And again, standing out, like as I told you, there are several people who are doing food blogging, there are several who are doing travel blogging, there are several who are doing lifestyle, like I myself do. I'm a mom blogger, so I do recipes, I do lifestyle, I do health and wellness, I do write about mental wellness. And then again, after all, I'm all talking about, we all are binded by this child, so we talk about our child, like early childhood development. So there's so many things. So how do you present it? How do your content is unique, or your perspective is different, so that people can deliberate with is really important. So your content is the king, and then the pictures, you should have a bank of nice visually attractive pictures. I mean, most of the time we got to make an effort that the pictures and the content is, you know, relatable. So that really makes great sense and makes a difference too. Third is like, I have been doing that, and I know it's really important to be updated or upgraded, because there are so many apps around. There are so many different editing apps, so many different filter apps. So you should have knowledge about different kind of editing. As I told you, like a lot of people, they are doing the same thing but with a twist, with their with their own signature to it. So your content should have your reflection. That is very important. So how your content should reflect you, that is what you need to nail it to. You just keep upgrading yourself with whatever new is in the market, and start working as a community, start building the community, start empowering the community, and trust me, just feeling as one of them, just being rock solid with them, makes you feel so liberated. This is what I have felt during this time. So yeah, competition is there. That competition is really tough there, but it should not get inside your head. You take it from a different perspective. And yeah, like be consistent about your postings. If you're posting twice a week, thrice a week, please do that. If you're posting once a day, do that. I mean, because whatever followers you have, they will be looking forward to it. So always make it a point that you are consistent with your postings. So that is very, very important. And yeah, once in a while, if you see that things are really getting too much, like too much commotion is there, too much commotion is in your mind, and kind of negativity, if you are affected by someone or some comments negatively, then go for a digital detox once in a while, because it really helps and it is really good for your mental wellness, mental being, emotional well-being. So I guess this is also very, very important, that you once in a while you take a break, you take a breather, just just click on the pause button, and then when you will come back, you'll be totally rejuvenated. You will be able to think better, you'll be able to create better, you'll be able to connect better. So that is very important. Digital detox, yes, you can go with that. And one more thing is, like, please don't get affected too much by the social media tamasha, the social media drama, the shosha thing, because everybody has their own struggle and everybody is going through one. So but it's us who we choose what to be posted out and what's not to be posted, because we all are here to spread positivity. So that is very important. Let's have one grateful and positive attitude throughout, which is better for the platform, also for the people who are on those platforms, and for you personally also, because that will help you grow as a person and be a better version of yourself. And now let me talk about the brand collaborations also. So you have to be really true to your brand collaborations, and of course to your audience too. Whatever deliverables is given to you from your side, is like agreed upon. So you should do it very religiously, because that helps them to kind of keep you in their good books. So whenever there would be another campaign coming up, they will always come back to you. So that is very important. Maintain professionalism, and of course honesty towards your audience too. So that is very important. And also don't hesitate to work with smaller brands, because step by step you move forward, and this all helps in building connections also, and helps you build up as a blogger, as a content creator, and eventually you'll reach out to the star brands with which with whom actually you want to work with. So it's always good to support small brands or local business or small brands, because with word of mouth publicity they add great value to your folio, to your blogging folio. So that is also very important, and please do keep this in mind. And also be ready with your social media kit. Prepare one, have all the fine detailings there, like about your reach, your impressions, your followers, brands you have worked with in the past, and what you can offer, a small introduction of yours, the kind of people are following you, and the kind of content you create. So this gives a very professional impression on the brands you really want to work with. And don't hesitate to extend your invites to them, and don't hesitate to write email to them that you really want to work with them, and share your work experience and everything. So keep your social media kit handy with all your rates and charges mentioned in it, of about like how much you charge for the postings and for the video post and the picture post and stuff like that. So brands do take notice of that someone is reaching out, and they do analyze your kit, and then get back to you if they think that you fit into their campaign. So in this way also the culminations happen, the collaborations happen. So it's not always the brand reaching out to you. Even you can reach out to the brand by reaching out to them through mail or messages.
I hope that your advice is really helpful for our upcoming mom bloggers. You are a mom and an established blogger. How do you keep a balance between both of them?
Well, I won't say managing everything is so very simple and very easy. Now I have become, a pro in it. I'm very nicely managing everything. No, it doesn't happen like that. But I have started, understanding one thing, that I need not panic about all these things going around, because this is, this hustle bustle is here to stay. Because mom's responsibilities and duties, and you as an women entrepreneur, or as in a professional, you need to kind of cope up with all the things happening simultaneously. So for this you need to be very, very mindful of your actions, like how you are going to do, what you are going to do, and the different perspectives you need to look through, because that is the game changer here. You have to be very thoughtful, very conscious of your actions. So this is what is called mindful parenting, or mindful or conscious parenting. Each action should be governed by a thought. It comes with practice. I'm not saying that it's very, very easy, but it comes with practice. So yeah, so these all things are really helping me a lot. I'm writing down things, I'm planning my day, and I prioritize thing, I categorize thing. I need to know that if this is 7 days in a week, so what all needs my attention, my prior attention. So I just kind of chronologically order them and do things. So writing is very important, planning the day is very, very more important, managing time and thinking before doing, that is very important. And some days if all is not happening, it's okay to chill out, relax, and don't panic about, because you have been doing good. Further also you are going to do good. It's just a span of say some hours, a span of time that you're not feeling good about everything, then it's okay. Just let it be and sit still and do whatever you like doing at that point of time. Don't panic. So that is very, very important to a kind of practice we need to adopt, that we just cannot stress about everything in our life, because these hustle bustle is going to stay. It's not going to end, but it is how we make the moment is very important. We need to live for the moment be present in the moment, whatever we are doing. Have a good healthy relationship with the partner also. And for that also, again, you need time and you need to categorize. So you have to set your priorities right. So there is business, there is partner, there is baby, and there is so many things you love to do. So it all comes under one category, which is called self-care. It's not only about taking care of your body, it's also about taking care of your mind, and a proper synchronization between them, a mutual coordination between them makes you a strong and personality, and helps you in easing out your stress and letting you achieve what you really want to achieve. And be happy, spread positivity. This is what I really want to convey through my posts also, and through my journey also. And thanks so much for having me here. It was a pleasure talking to you all.
Well, of course, time management for any job is really important. Thank you so much, Namita. It was really nice knowing about you and your journey as an influencer. Smooth Life wishes you a great future ahead with success and lots of love. Thank you.